Hi, and welcome to a new Plug and Groove video. My name is John Skippy Limcool. Welcome. The air conditioner is on, so it's kind of noisy in the background. Sorry about that. But summer days in Portland, in an attic. I'm looking at houses. I might be moving here to my own house soon. I can't wait if that happens. And it will have central air. That's one of the things at the top of my list. Room for my studio somewhere that's nice, and central air. Where I sleep, I don't care. Anyway, thank you for joining me. This is a support video for Del Norte, the new library I have released of EDM chill sounds that I'm really proud of. People are loving and telling me how nice it is, and they're happy with it. By the way, check this out. If I hide this, that is a desktop wallpaper, and there's 5 of them that you can download when you buy the library. There's a link in the download of things you own. There's I'll show you. There's this one, Heart of the Forest, both 4K and 1920 by 1200 HD. So there's 2 different resolutions, 16:9 aspect ratio, and then this aspect ratio. So here's the picture. It's on my desktop now. The trees, which are on the cover of the library, and then here is the Oregon coast in the Samuel Boardman Scenic Drive. It's beautiful. So many beautiful scenes like this that just pop out of nowhere. It's really cool. So those are a free download. So that's part of the library now for when you buy the library. Also, just to point out, because it's kind of cool, there's a $1 demo version of this library. I thought a lot of you maybe haven't committed to spending as much money as it is for one of my libraries, and I want you to have a chance to check out the quality of the work we do. We don't pull punches. If you've seen our videos, you know I give the best information in real world how to use this stuff I can give you guys. And I take that same approach 1000% with the work I do making patches. So I wanted you to check them out. So there's 15 patches for $1 on my website. So that will stay up. I'll keep that available. I'm not going to make that go away. So that can be your first entry into the Plugin Guru family. And there's 26 libraries to pick from now. It's pretty crazy. By the way, this is my website. Please come here to buy a library. This is where you can get the $1 demo or the full version. If these are down, you can go to the products tab, and here's all the libraries that I sell. So you can see them this way really quick, or you can click products and they will just pop up, bang, on a list here where you can go through them that way. So please come to the site, support the teacher. Thank you, I appreciate it. So today we are looking at MIDI files and what you can do with MIDI files that come with this library. What I'm going to show you, you can use with other MIDI files that you get from other libraries or other things that you've bought and downloaded. There's a folder called Del Norte MIDI files that comes with this library, and there's 17 song ideas that I just was working on while I was making the library, and I just kept storage of them like a little notepad, and they're yours to play with. So there's bass 1 through 17. There's actually number 9 missing, as you can see, because number 9 didn't need a bass. There's the chord parts, and then there's drum groups, and there's 17 of those. We're going to look at number 11 today. It will work well for what I want to do. What we're going to do is I have a sequence in Logic set up. It's new, but I have one Omnisphere here. Let's drag this down long enough that you can see it. For the melody, which is currently one of the pluck sounds. I have a bass. And this is a separate Omnisphere. I'm doing a separate Omnispheres. So if I wanted to put a sidechain on something when I'm showing you stuff, I don't have to worry about outputs and output assignments and all that stuff. And then lastly is the Contact 5. This is the Super Mantra drums. So it's going to be playing the MIDI files. So what I'm going to do, let's shrink this a little bit. Let's take number 11 and let's go to the chords. And all I have to do is click and drag. And it always asks this question that I can't turn off if I want to import the MIDI file tempo. And I don't, because I know what I wanted to do it at 30 beats, 130 beats per minute. And let me zoom in to make sure I'm right starting on measure 1. And oh, this needs to be on this track. So that's the melody. And this is the patch that's being played, and I can Just depends on the vibe I want. That's cool. I like that. Now for a sound like this, because I'm gonna have a bass, I might go over here to the high pass filter right off the bat and limit it. So I hear the melody, but when it gets to the lower notes, it doesn't have all that depth. So I can hear it a little bit, but not a lot. Okay? So that's doing, and we can modify that more in a minute. Now let's go to part 2, which is the bass. So we come down here, we find the bass part to number 11. By getting rid of that low end, it makes that bass just have so much more purity. So remember stuff like that when you're doing your mix. You can fix things like that now. Then let's go to the groove. Why is it not letting me go to the drum grooves? Here's number 11. So this groove is one of 17. This could be a whole song all by itself right here, but we're gonna make it even more. This is gonna be fun. So that's the groove. And if I went to the bass sound, there's more sustain. This has a cool attack to it. What would that sustain sound like if I took it up an octave? Let's go to the attack sample. Make sure you select Del Norte over here. And here's all of them. So let's solo just the bass. Cool. Now if I want this bass to have a little bit more hair on it, go over here to the bit crusher, the wave shaper, turn it on by turning on the light, and just bring it bit crush. Now if that's too much to be sustaining the whole time, I'm gonna have it take a look at, let's see, our filter is really snappy. That might be kind of cool. So let's go over here and we go to that wave shaper and we right click and we say modulate by, and we find the filter envelope. Let's solo the bass once again. First let's mute this so we hear what it sounds like without it. Now let's add it. Get that little extra high end without. Now if I go to the filter, I could stretch this out to be a little bit longer. And that's just a little blip, but I can control the shape. Stuff like that's really cool to add to the sound. Because you hear that stuff that just pops up out of nowhere. Those are the happy accidents that make a mix interesting, right? Cool. Okay. So this is the groove later on. I want to have this something else open the song. So I'm going to go over here and in Logic under track, I can say other. And because I've gone to this page, which is the track parameters, and it by default is set to all, I'm going to change it to 1. And as you can see, there's a 1 in brackets now for both the melody and the bass. And I'm going to hold down Control and return. And that lets me add automatically. There, I have 3 tracks to this Omnisphere additionally added. So I have 4, and I have 4 here. So I could go to part 2. Let's go over here to our plucky sound. And I play 2 and I don't hear anything because nothing is set up. But it's ready to be set up. So all I have to do is click the number 2 box. And let's go looking for a pad. I got a cool trick to show you. So first, we could try something like that because it's a pad with an attack. So it's Option and click. And then I'm going to move this to be later. Let's have the bass start later. Have the drum start, just so I just hear this part. That's kind of cool. I could take the MIDI file and let's go over here And if I hit P, I quickly get to see as a piano player roll. I like that way of seeing it because I can see there's a hi-hat here. That's the constant. Here's the kick. Here's the snare. I'm going to hit Control M to mute that. And let's see if I mute this. Maybe I don't want the toms, so I could delete him or just... Okay. That's interesting. What if I wanted it to be a pad? What if I don't know how to play, but I wanted this to be a pad? I'm going to show you a couple of tricks here to do stuff like that. So, okay, so see where this is all the same note? Let's get rid of all of those. And anywhere that I see notes that are the same, I'm going to use the command in Logic right here. I think it's Command J, join. So it will make them longer. So I'm getting rid of the timing by just Command J. Anytime there's two notes together, don't play it yet. Gotta save the surprise. And since its timing's fairly consistent, when I've gotten these joined, I should be able to take all of these and, oh, wait, undo that. Take all of these and then add these just by holding down my trusty shift key. Any of these that look like they're the same length, I'm going to select them all. So now I can make these all grow longer together. I don't need these extra things. Almost there. So I don't need these. Let's have this go longer to here. So I've turned this into a pad. And if that's the case, maybe I want to go to this sound and maybe not have it be here, but have it be more like a lush pad or something, you know? That's not the right pad. For this part, we could fix it. Now this feels a little late, but it's a cool sound. I'm gonna do a couple tricks. Watch this. We're gonna move the sample start later, because in this, the sample has a slow attack in the actual sample. So by moving the sample start later, now watch this. So what if we could make this pulsing? Bring down the amp, and I'm on link. Because I have link on, it's doing it to both layers at once. And I'm gonna go to envelope number 4, and that MIDI file, number 11, right here. Let's use it in a way you might not have been expecting. Let's drag it over the envelope, and boom, there's the timing of the entire sequence as a pulsing envelope. And if we set it to legato and sync, we could also set it to song for sync, because that way it doesn't reset. It's just going to keep, no matter what you play, it's following the tempo because of the tempo and the location of the song. So I kind of like that idea better. And then go to each patch and right click on the volume that we brought down to 0 and say modulate that with envelope 4. Put the volume at max. And you have to do it, even though you're in link, you have to do that to both amps on layer 1 and layer 2 at the same time. Put the mod envelope at strength at 100%. Now let's play it. Now there's a delay on, so I'm going to turn the delay off. Now, what we might want to do when you get short things like this that were kind of dark is you need to brighten them. And even with the filter off, it's still, these are warm virus patches, right? So let's do a little bit more like extreme brain surgery here. Let's go over here and call up, the 3-band EQ is awesome because you can lower this frequency to like 4. If this is up high, there's nothing in the 10K range to boost. But by being able to easily just set it to 3 or 4K, that's farther down the frequency spectrum, so it picks it up more. And if I wanted to really make this pop out, be careful with this, but I'm going to show you another trick. Let's modulate the volume of that EQ. Because the other cool trick with the vintage EQ3 that I know is it has a volume that can be controlled and modulated right here. I use this all the time for volume correcting patches. So now that we have that, now let's put our lead back on top. And if we're on part 2, let's go back to that delay, bring it down. And maybe not at 8th notes, diplets, like maybe quarter notes. And maybe let's add something creative. Let's add a reverb to it. Now reverb, on a sound like this, I want to bring the high end down, both there and the frequency that's being extended here. Listen to the sound. Now I can make the reverb longer. I could do something really fun. Let's do this. Let's go modulate this with an LFO. Just a little bit. Really small amount. Bring down our overall level so it's not quite so loud. Okay. So we have this really interesting thing happening using the same MIDI file that's doing the main part of the song. Maybe we want to go to part 3. Let's go to the leads. Not that one. So, that's cool. That's a very cool sound, Airwave. So let's record a little something with that. Isn't this fun? So using the MIDI file in creative other ways to actually modulate parameters in the synth is going to open up all sorts of cool ideas and doors for you. That's why I put them in there. I wanted to have a chance to teach a little bit on this, and in order to teach it, I have to give it to you in the first place. So buy Del Norte. You get these MIDI files. They're really fun to play with, and you can do things like this all day long. So thank you for watching. I'm just going to play it again. That's cool. And I've got 2 or 3 more videos to make. So enjoy. Thank you. 2, 3, 4. Rock out, baby. Rock out. Yeah. Rock out. That was fun.